Hey everybody, it's Ever back with you from Hood Time Welding. For you, should have released a video last week, and it's a video I did a couple weeks ago. But for me, it's been a couple weeks since I made that video, and I just hadn't got around to publishing yet. I'm hoping to have at least a few consecutive weeks together. So what we have today is we have this barrel here, and what it's for is a machine a customer's making for helping out with animal skins. He likes to tan them and cure them and make them. And so what this one is to do is when you tan the animal hides, they get really stiff and they're not very pliable. So what this is going to do is you've got the flat drum here, and then we've got a bunch of square stock. We've got 8 pieces. And what we're going to do is evenly space them around the drum like this and weld around the ends, weld in a couple different places, because the customer was originally thinking he could just tack these on, and I'm like, no, you got to put a little bit more than that, because otherwise these are just going to break off and go flying, and you don't want that. But before we can start putting these on, we need to actually fix up the ends here. The customer tried to weld them himself. He thought he could do it, and ended up giving himself arc eye, which is like a sunburn for the eye. Plus, you can see, I don't know how close you guys can get, but they're not real good welds. And there's a lot of places where weld's missing. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean up. We're going to open it up in spots where we have to, and we're going to actually weld these caps out. I mean, he did a little better on this side, but still, you can see there's right here, there's just lack of fusion. He's not really a welder. The first part, the reason you know that is first, when I told him, I says, oh, you didn't clean that? And he's like, oh, you got to clean it? And I'm like, yeah, that's going to mess with your, you're going to get a lack of fusion because you've got the scale that's going to get in between. First thing I did was I wire brush this all down because we're going to be welding on it and that. So between that and everything, yeah, nice guy, just doesn't know a lot about welding, so that's why he brought it to me. So like I said, first thing we're going to do is get these ends cleaned up, get these barrels or the end caps welded out a little better. We're going to have to smooth them out because you can see where to set these in the center, you're going to be sitting right on that weld. So we want them to be able to sit down as best we can. Because like I said, what happens is you push the skin against this, and these sharp edges, or the rough edges like that, it's going to help break up the fibers of that skin, so it makes it pliable. But, so, anyways, like I said, first thing we got to do is get these ends welded on, smooth back off, and then we're going to figure out what the diameter is around, space our, put marks on for all our spacers, put these on, get them welded on. These are already actually cleaned up with the belt sander on the surfaces I'm going to weld on. This, I wire brush it really hard, so we're down to pretty much bare metal. Plus on the ends, we'll be down to bare metal because I'm going to have to smooth it off. So, yeah, that's what we got for you today. We've got this. We've got a lawnmower deck, which we'll get into the next video, and then we actually have something for the shop we're going to be working on the video after that. So yeah, we got a couple weeks here of some videos. Told you, the jobs dry up around that Christmas holiday time, and I wasn't surprised. We just couldn't quite stretch it out long enough. But anyways, let's get to work on this. got the ends all done up. I wouldn't have had to grind quite as much if he would have not put the ends on himself. I could have made more of a groove, you know, because these caps already have a V on them. I'd make a V on the pipe, and then I would have had something there somewhere for my weld to sit down in a little bit better, but he didn't. So this is where we're at. One of those things I was doing was the overall length was, what was it, 22 and a half. Each one of those bars were 19 and 1/8, and which actually ended up cutting them all to the same length because they were all different lengths. So I found the shortest one, made them all the same size. So that was what I was doing. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was just putting marks on, using my pipe wrap, so that I knew exactly where these should sit, you know, end to end. And the next thing I did was so I could get a starting point. There's two ways to do it. You can have the fancy V, like use the V on your square with the line, get it level, and put a mark on either end. What I elected to do is I just lined it up with the edge of the table here, and then just took my marker and draw a straight line across, which gives you the same thing. And then I did it twice just to make sure like I wasn't cocked or anything. And these are exactly 2 3/8 wide between them, so I know I was right on with this line is a good line to use. I just double checked myself with the second line. So now what we got to do is we're going to have to measure all the way around. We'll use that line for our start and stop. So start and stop right there. We have 11 inches and a 16th. So we'll say 11 inches. So 11 inches. And we have to get that split up into, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divided by 8. So 11 divided by 8. So that's 1,830. So 8 into 30 would be 3. Sorry, my math's a little rusty. 30 or 24 into 30 is 6. So we go 7, that's 56. And that's 40, so that's 5. 1.375, which I think is 1 3/8 in between each. Let me double check myself. 3/8, yep, 375, 0.375. So we need 1 3/8 between each one, and that should give us an equal spacing all the way around. So what we'll do is we'll get started, get them marked up. I got the start line for both sides so that we can keep them nice and parallel to each other. But yeah, that should give us 8 space. If I start at 1 here, the first one will come back all the way around to here. So let's go ahead and get that marked. See how good my math is. 1 3/8 between each one. So 1 3/8. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. Still a little bit warm to be handling, but I'm surviving. 1 3/8. 1 3/8. Let's see how bad we did. 1 3/8. That Worked out pretty good. I'm within a 16th. So, and let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do that one more time. So this is the line we're starting on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. The one other line I drawn here sort of screwed me up a little bit there for a second. So we'll get the other side marked, and then it should just be a matter of getting these squared up between each mark, tacking them on. After I get them tacked on, what I'll do is I'm going to wrap each end, put a weld on this side, put a weld on this side, put a weld on this side, put a weld on this side. That's what I'm thinking. So you have equal pull from both sides. And I'm going to stagger them just so they're staggered throughout the piece and they're not all in the same spot. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So we'll get the other side marked and we'll get welded and we should get her all done. So let's continue. So there you have it. We got them all done. You can see I staggered the welds, one here, 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 and just did that all the way across. I also started these ones go this way, these ones go this way. Sort of tried to stagger them going different ways. And on the ends aren't as great as good as I'd like it to be. You know me. I haven't welded in a while, so it annoys me, but she rolls pretty good. The thing is there's actually two different size rods. You can see, I don't know how well you can see, this one is different size from this one and this one. And there's 3 of these bigger size ones. So I tried to space them out evenly in between each. But with the number of rods, you can't quite do that. I have the, 2 bars between most of them, and then there's one place where there's 1 bar. So I just tried to space them out evenly so they just came out even. And that just gives you a little different feel when it's going through. But yeah, you got to use what the customer gives you on stuff like this. But nice little job. It took me an hour and a half, 2 hours. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy, but it's still a job. Still will get me going. Like I said, I have I have the lawnmower, and then I have another project for in the shop, and then next month coming up, I've got some more work that's supposed to be coming in. Of course, barbecue, but yeah, at least we're starting to get a little something going on, and I'll get out here a little bit more. It helps with this heater in here, makes it so I can at least come out here and get some work done. But anyways, as always, big thumbs up's always appreciated. Comment. I like to hear from you guys, whether it's questions, just saying good job, whatever. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you on the next one.